Morning guys, hope you're doing well. I didn't really have much sleep because I was watching Pound USD and I was watching gold as well. And I got stopped out on gold, which is quite frustrating because it looked like I might not have had to, because we had the weekly ATR at 2080 and we hit that weekly ATR and we've responded off that and reacted off it. Now it's worth noting on gold is that we took an SLC out and we are wicking from that SLC, okay? And while we're here, I can talk about the robot. We were doing okay, but we had dollar exposure, and obviously the dollar was being pushed around really bad and actually getting bullied quite strongly. I didn't realise how skewed the market sentiment was on the dollar, and we only have to look at the bubbles, which is something that I've neglected of late. And the dollar was over here, so it's worth noting. It was in the strong sell section. It moving across here tells us that the stops were raided because we were well over here on the dollar. So they were long and they got bullied, and now we're just seeing a reaction from those stops. So you have to remember to check the bubbles, okay? So that's just a reminder for myself, and probably a reminder for you guys as well, potentially. Just remember to check the bubbles. If something's over here, then it's likely going to get bullied, and likely if something's down here, it's likely going to get bullied. So yen might come down, and then it'll be like strong buy, and then you know, up here is strong sell, this is strong buy, so the yen might come down. So risk calc, so you know, we're risking on the big picture. They've actually added on the 24-hour difference, which is quite frustrating. The technicals really pumped yesterday. They changed from last week because we are now Thursday. It's a short week, and it's a quiet one tomorrow in terms of indices because they'll close early for the weekend and for the new year. So this is the last full day for the indices, so we're going to probably see quite a volatile session today. And this is the change from last week. So the pound, you know, I was trying to fight that yesterday. It was quite frustrating, quite exhausting as well. So got to remember to check the bubbles and also check the individual sentiment as well. And we can ignore the dollar Swiss. I think it's just behaving really strangely. There's so many bulls on the dollar Swiss. There's 23 bulls versus the one bear, so it's a bit weird and out of bonk. And you can see that the US 30 was the mover there, and that explains that sell there, explains this movement there, okay? And also what I was talking about on the skew, look at that. It's 93% of people selling the Euro USD, 85% on the GU. There's 94% long on dollar CAD, and there's 94% long Euro Swiss. There's 92% long short on the AU. So it's really bad for the dollar right now, sentimentally speaking, possibly fundamentally speaking as well, because we're risk on. So it's a combination of the two, and I was trying to fight it because I've got some pound USD trades and I've got to remember to check the sentiment. But what's quite cool now in Discord is that we've got this new channel, and that will tell us when extremes are going to get hit. Where is it? God, I'm actually quite tired today. Let's find it. Where are we? There we go. Long short extremes. So it's basically, I was saying that I was with the MyFX goons on this one, so hopefully people see the benefits. So what it does, it tells us when we are extreme on a sentiment. So it will be really good for us as traders, because when that goes to false, it'll tell us that it was extreme and they've given up. And by giving up, we're going to see a reversal on price. So if you're trading the pound USD, and if you're looking for an entry, you're going to wait for that to go false, and then that basically tells us liquidity probe. So when we do go false, I'll give you a case study example how I would trade it, and we're going to use some supply and demand for that after the liquidity has been probed. So false is the liquidity probe basically, okay? So it'll tell us that it destroyed those shorts, but it had to pump first to get them out. So you don't enter at true, you enter at false, okay? Because you don't want to enter when we're at extremes. We're going to be trading that extreme reversal, okay? So that's that. So the robot was okay. Unfortunately, we had some dollar trades running and they went a bit awry, but it's okay. And let's bring the market scope across. And remember, gold took the SLC out, so we kind of would expect to see a wick there. And remember, we had a sell set up here, and we never did get the sell set up at all, and it just went away. It just really rallied. So it's a good idea to have your sell orders or buy orders. If you don't get filled, it doesn't really matter. If you had, you've entered, that would have been pretty horrible, to be fair. But if you have a sell order and it doesn't, it doesn't get satisfied, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. So gold made a box, so we can draw a box, and up here. So we should be below this box, but like I say, we're taking out an SLC, so we're going to see a wick. S&P. S&P is they might be going long. They might be going long. We could be getting a risky sell coming up, so we've got to be careful. There's no setup currently, but we might get a crossover later today. US 30, we have had a crossover on the US 30 because I had the notification, the pop-up, and there's that crossover there. So it might be an interesting day today. It's been absolutely relentless. There's Nasdaq had 20 bullish days against its one red day. So there's 20 bullish candles daily versus the one bearish daily candle. So bullish on the Nasdaq. So we should be below this box, okay? Shame we can't show you Nasdaq sentiment really. And S&P, US 30, DAX, and we have had the crossover, as you can see. Yeah, we had the notification, the pop-up, which is fine, which is really useful. And there's the sell set up. Remember, it's a risky sell because we're well below 50%, right? So you've got to be really careful. And we just basically just gone up to destroy people, and it's not very nice at all. It's really cruel and quite exhausting. See, I'm quite a compassionate guy, and I know that people are undergoing lots of losses. So for me, it's quite stressful because I know people are trading this and undergoing humongous drawdown. So I feel you. I've been there before. It's horrible, and if you can stick it out, then great. But remember what I was saying all year was just to buy, okay? I wasn't saying to sell at any point in time. If I say sell, it's always with caveat. It's a risky sell, especially if we're below 50%, right? If we're above 50%, we are a sell. But if we're below, we're going to be a buy, okay? So you're going to have to be very careful. And, like I say, I feel you, and I've been there before, and I was trading the Dow Jones back when Ben Bernanke was around a long time ago, and he had the QE thing, and I held on to my bearish bets, and it absolutely destroyed me. So I've been there before. It's pretty horrible. Fingers crossed it goes okay for you, but we need to see a retracement even on the day, because we can't have 1 out of 20 days. It's just not normal. It's just unhealthy, and we need to see rotation and cycles. We're not seeing that. We're just seeing a complete bullion of the herd, and we're taking those stops. And I think these guys are going to be giving up. I'm giving up on gold because I got stopped out, and I'm not thinking about coming back to it till next week. So perhaps these guys are going to think, well, I can maybe come back to it at some time in the future, and that sort of sentiment is sort of like sinking into their minds, where they're thinking, well, I can probably give up. I'm probably think I'm going to have a huge loss, and they're just sort of thinking, well, okay, maybe I can try and recoup that money back next year, and they're looking to perhaps give up potentially, and this could be the signs of them giving up there. But there's all these psychology stuff that's going on, and it's affecting everyone's judgment as well, and it doesn't help when you're tired. So if you are tired, you've got to be really careful, because your brain isn't really thinking clearly as well. So like for example, I probably could have stuck out the gold trade because I knew that the ATR was 2080, but obviously I was not sure whether or not we were going to see a ridiculous pump as I was sleeping, so I had to bail. And 2080 is your weekly ATR, okay? So that's the key level for today and tomorrow, and it's a good level to work against as well. So unfortunately I got stopped out, so it's going to be like a negative week, month for me. But that's okay. And remember, we've taken the SLC out, so I would imagine that to wick, so it could be really careful. I've just given advice in Discord just to perhaps come back next week with this, because the treasury yields are going to be dumping, and then they could be pumping, and then they could be dumping. So it's going to cause havoc with gold, and so you just have to be careful. And that's today's video. So we'll be back tomorrow, short video tomorrow, and then it's the new year. So I wish you a happy new year, and I'll speak to you guys soon.